Java with John, a Java with John. Grab a cup of Java and sit on down and have some Java with John. And if you don't like Java, drink something else, like tea. Well, hello there, and welcome to another episode of Java with John. My name is John Maloney, and this is my Java. Today I want to talk about motivation. What motivates you to do the things you do? What motivates others to do the things they do? I think it's really important to understand what motivates us, what motivates you. When you understand what motivates you, you can either A, change the behavior if you don't like it, or B, explain to yourself and others why you have that behavior. Through understanding comes change. Through understanding comes power. So again, what is motivation? Well, the root word motive is the reason for doing something. And the motivation is the reason or reasons you say something or do something or display a particular behavior. So what are the different types of motivation? Well, there's probably hundreds, but they can be broken down into basically two categories: external and internal. So I can use the example of a child because a child generally relies on external motivators to do things. For example, you ask a child to clean up their plate and put it away in the dishwasher. They don't want to. And you say, well, you want to know what? Once you're done cleaning up and putting away your plate, you can watch some TV. So they quickly put away the plate, put it in the dishwasher, and then you let them watch TV. What motivated them to put away their plate? Not really because they wanted to. It was because you said, hey, when you're done, you can watch TV. So there's two things at play there. There's A, pleasing you, which, I think as we get older, we tend to want to please people a bit more. But if you're talking about a 5 or 6-year-old, it's probably because they want to watch the TV. So that's what we call external motivator. Other examples of that, and we're all motivated by that from, once we understand it to pretty much the day we die, is money. That's a great external motivator. Sometimes fame, sometimes power, sometimes acknowledgement. So those are some other examples of external motivators. Now, as we grow up, hopefully we develop internal motivators. And internal motivators are things that motivate us from within. For example, a real majority of our motivators are based on values. Some of those motivators are based on, well, it's just easier to do it this way than it is that way. So I think some of our motivators are just based on pure laziness. But mainly values, mainly principles are what our motivators are based on. So another example is you're young adult and you're driving and you go to a party. You have a lot to drink at the party, you're kind of tipsy. And people are like, okay, give me a ride home. Can you give me a ride home? And you're like, no, I don't think so. I don't want to give you a ride home. Now, there's several reasons. Let's talk about those external ones. If you're more geared towards external motivators, it might be, I don't want to get caught by the police. I don't want my license taken away. I don't want to get fined. I don't want to get an accident and get my car totaled. Some of those internal motivators might be, hey, look, I don't want to drive drunk. I don't believe in driving drunk because I could hurt somebody and I don't want to hurt someone. I value my life. I value your life more than I value the ability to drive home tonight. So you need to find another way home. So those are some of those internal values. Now, you're probably not going to express them that way at a party. However, some of that stuff is going to go through your mind if you are motivated internally, or some people will use the word intrinsically. So why is it important to know your external or internal motivators? Because then you can, like I said before, you can choose to keep the behavior or change the behavior. So let's talk about that a little bit. So you can change your behavior if there's something you don't like about yourself. For example, you sleep in on the weekends. And that, if it's an external thing and it's like, I just told I should be up by 8 in the morning, well, you're most likely not going to get up at 8 in the morning. You're going to still want to sleep in. But if it's like, you know what, I want to spend more time with my friends, I enjoy my family time a lot more. I want to, keep the, go mow the lawn because I want to feel like I'm contributing to the household because I'm busy working all week and I want to help out my beautiful wife. Those are those internal motivations that will more likely get you to do what you desire to do. Secondly, by understanding what motivates you, you can actually motivate others. And that might seem weird, but it's the truth. So I get motivation a lot. Something that motivates me is value. And generally people want to be valued. And again, I just want to say that, everybody is not the same. Everybody has their differences and everybody is motivated by different things. So I want to say that and I want to be clear on that. However, I find that some people, they have, there's more commonalities than others, right? Feeling valuable, feeling like they contribute, safety is another motivator, for example. Security is another motivator. And safety and security are two different things. Safety is keeping everybody safe, but security perhaps might be knowing what's going to come up. So I don't mean security as in the security guard way. I mean security as predictability. Trust is another motivator. Honesty is another motivator. And again, right, some people have not so good motives such as greed and just evilness and all that stuff. But I don't want to focus on those negative ones. I want to focus on the positive ones. So if you know, for example, that this is going to be a way to manipulate someone, but I'm going to share it anyways. If you know, for example, that your wife is motivated by, I don't know, say sense of belonging, needing to feel like she's belonging. You could say, hey, sweetheart, would you like to come out to dinner tonight? I know you had a tough day at work, but I'm going to be with my friends and I want us to hang out together. I want you to be part of the group, part of the crowd. She's more likely to say yes than, hey honey, let's go to dinner. Right? You're giving her something she needs, and at the same time, you're getting your needs met by going out with your wife, maybe being seen in public with your wife because you're proud of her. So hopefully that's not an offensive example to anybody, but again, I'm going to say this to my one last preaching thing before I head off. Manipulation is not good or bad. It's what your intent is. If your intent is to hurt, to harm, it's a bad thing. But if your intent is to teach, if your intent is to motivate, it's not necessarily bad. And I'm going to leave it at that. So, as we end another Java with John, I'm going to take a sip of coffee and just leave you with this thought. Be yourself because nobody else can.